Previously on part 1. Ada, a poor lady cleaning lady, fed 2 homeless twins every morning for 3 months. She gave her only meals, starved herself, lost her job, got evicted, lost everything. Then just as she was saying goodbye forever, a wealthy man appeared. He claimed to be the twins' father, the father they thought was dead, the father who'd been searching for them for months. He gave Ada a business card, told her to come to his office at 9 a.m. That was yesterday. This is today. The morning that will change everything. Ada didn't sleep. Couldn't sleep. After Mr. Okonkwo took the twins away in that Mercedes, after the reunion she had witnessed, after receiving that business card, she had nowhere to go. No room anymore. No home. Just her plastic bag of belongings and a business card that might be a miracle or a cruel joke. She spent the night in a 24-hour fast food restaurant. The security guard felt sorry for her, let her sit in the corner booth, didn't chase her away like they usually did with homeless people. Because that's what she was now. Homeless. Like Chidi and Chioma had been. Like the children she had tried to save while destroying herself. The business card sat on the table in front of her. She'd read it 100 times. Mr. Adewale Okonkwo, CEO, Okonkwo Industries, Victoria Island, Lagos. A CEO, a real CEO, of a company she'd never heard of because poor people don't follow business news. Was this real? Could this be real? Or was it a setup, a cruel trick? Maybe he was angry she'd been caring for his children. Maybe he thought she had ulterior motives. Maybe 9 a.m. would bring police, accusations, punishment for daring to help. You should go, a voice said. Ada looked up. An older homeless woman sitting nearby. Grey hair, kind eyes. The kind of person who'd been on the streets long enough to understand things. I don't know if I should, Ada whispered. Child, listen to me. I've been watching you all night, seeing you staring at that card like it might explode. Let me tell you something. When an opportunity knocks, you don't ask if it's real. You open the door. The worst that happens, same place you are now, nothing. But the best that happens, everything changes. What if he's angry? What if he's grateful? What if God is finally answering your prayers? You fed those children when nobody else would. You sacrificed everything. Maybe, just maybe, the universe noticed. Ada looked at the card again. 9 a.m. That was in 3 hours. She had no clean clothes, no way to look presentable, no money for transport even. Just her worn cleaning uniform and her broken hope. But the woman was right. What did she have to lose? She'd already lost everything. Thank you, Mama, Ada said. Go wash your face in the bathroom, straighten your clothes, hold your head high and walk into that intimidating building like you belonged there. Because maybe, just maybe, you do. 6 a.m. Ada started walking. Victoria Island was far, very far, but she had no money for transport, so she walked. Through the awakening city, past the early market traders, past the street sweepers, past people starting their day with hope, while she carried only questions. Her feet hurt. Her stomach was empty. She hadn't eaten since yesterday morning. Her body was weak from months of giving away her food. But she walked. Because what else could she do? The business card said Victoria Island, the rich part of Lagos, the part where people like Ada only went to clean houses or wash clothes or serve food to people who didn't see them as human. Excuse me, sister. She stopped a bus conductor. This address, how far is it? He looked at the card, looked at her worn clothes and tired face. Ha! Okonkwo Industries. That's big building for Victoria Island. You did go there? You get appointment? Yes, 9 a.m. He laughed. Not cruelly, just disbelief. Sister, that building, the security no go even let you enter gate. You look like... He stopped himself. Realized he was being unkind. I look like what? Ada asked quietly. Nothing, sister. Just make sure you get there early. Clean yourself small. Those kind places, they judge you before you open your mouth. He was trying to help, in his own way, warning her that poverty was visible, that it would disqualify her before she could even explain. But Ada kept walking, because she'd come this far, fed those children for months, lost everything, survived the lowest moment of her life. Walking a few more kilometers, that was nothing. By 7:30 a.m., she could see it. The tall glass building, gleaming in the morning sun. The kind of building that seemed designed to intimidate poor people. Okonkwo Industries, written in massive letters. Ada stopped, looked down at herself, her faded uniform, her worn shoes, her dusty plastic bag. Then she remembered Chioma's voice. God will bless you, Sister Ada. She straightened her back, lifted her chin, and walked toward that intimidating building like she belonged there. Because maybe, just maybe, she did. The security guard saw her coming, and his face said everything. You don't belong here. Good morning, sir, Ada said respectfully. Morning. You are looking for someone? I have an appointment, 9 a.m., with Mr. Okonkwo. The guard's eyebrows went up. Then he laughed. Mr. Okonkwo, the CEO, Mr. Okonkwo. Yes, sir. Sister, I don't know what game you are playing, but Mr. Okonkwo doesn't meet with... He gestured at her. Didn't finish the sentence. Didn't need to. He gave me this card yesterday. Told me to come at 9. She held out the card. The guard took it, examined it. It was real, genuine. Mr. Okonkwo's personal card, not the company card, the one he only gave to important people. His expression changed. Confusion. Suspicion. Where you get this card? He gave it to me, yesterday, when he found his children, the twins. I've been taking care of them. Taking care of who? His children, Chiding and Chioma. They were homeless. I fed them every morning for 3 months. He found them yesterday, gave me this card, said to come today. The guard stared at her, processing, because this sounded insane. A poor woman in a cleaning uniform claiming the CEO gave her his personal card because she fed his lost children. Wait here, he said. Don't move. He went inside, made a phone call. Ada could see him through the glass, talking urgently, looking back at her several times. He was probably calling police, probably reporting her for fraud, for pretending to have an appointment, for daring to show up at a place like this, looking like herself. Ada's heart pounded. She should run, should leave before they arrested her, should... The guard came back. His face was completely different, shocked, almost reverent. Madam, Mr. Okonkwo's secretary confirmed. She said you are expected. She said... He paused like he couldn't believe what he was about to say. Mr. Okonkwo has been waiting for you since 7 a.m. That he gave specific instructions. The moment you arrive, bring you straight up. No delays, no forms, nothing. He opened the door, held it for her, like she was someone important. Please, madam, this way. I'll escort you personally to his office.
The elevator was made of glass and mirrors. Ada could see herself from every angle. And what she saw made her want to cry. A tired woman, a poor woman, a woman who looked like she'd been sleeping rough because she had. A woman whose uniform had seen better days. A woman who didn't belong in elevators like this. The security guard stood beside her, silent now, respectful, but she could feel his curiosity, his questions. Who was this woman? Why did the CEO want to see her so urgently? What was her story? The numbers climbed. 10th floor, 15th, 20th. Top floor, the guard said. Executive level. Only Mr. Okonkwo and his senior managers work up here. Ada's stomach turned. Not from the elevator, from fear. What if this was all a mistake? What if his secretary misunderstood? What if he was actually angry and was going to have her arrested for what? For helping his children? The elevator stopped. 25th floor. The doors opened, and what Ada saw made her breath catch. Luxury. Pure luxury. Marble floors, leather furniture, massive windows overlooking all of Lagos. Art on the walls, fresh flowers, the kind of space that screamed, only rich people belong here. A woman in an expensive suit approached. His secretary, professional, polished, everything Ada wasn't. Miss Ada, her voice was kind, gentle, like she knew Ada was terrified. Yes, ma. Mr. Okonkwo has been waiting for you. Please come with me. Can I get you anything? Water, tea, breakfast? Breakfast. The word hit Ada like a punch. When was the last time she'd eaten? Water is fine, ma. Thank you. They walked down a hallway, expensive carpet under her worn shoes. Every step felt wrong, like she was trespassing in a world not meant for her. The secretary stopped at a large wooden door, knocked gently. Sir, Miss Ada is here. A voice from inside. His voice, the man from yesterday. Send her in, please. The secretary opened the door, smiled at Ada. Go ahead. He's been very anxious to see you. Ada stepped through the door, and her life changed forever. The office was bigger than Ada's entire compound, maybe bigger than her whole neighborhood. Floor-to-ceiling windows showing all of Lagos spread out below like a toy city. Expensive furniture, a desk that probably cost more than Ada would make in her entire lifetime. Art on the walls, books, awards, everything screaming success and power. And in the middle of it all, standing by the window, was Mr. Okonkwo. But he wasn't the composed businessman she had expected. He turned when she entered, and his eyes were red, like he'd been crying, or hadn't slept, or both. Miss Ada, his voice cracked. You came. Thank God. I was afraid you wouldn't come, that it was a trick, that I'd lost my chance to... He stopped, composed himself, gestured to a chair. Please, sit. You must be exhausted. My secretary is bringing breakfast, real breakfast. You're going to eat, and then we're going to talk about everything. About what you did for my children, about what it means, about what happens now. Ada sat. The leather chair swallowed her. She'd never sat in anything so comfortable. Mr. Okonkwo, I don't understand. Why am I here? The twins are with you now. You found them. That's all that matters. I'm happy for you, really. But I don't understand why you're here? He sat across from her, leaned forward, and when he spoke, his voice was thick with emotion. Miss Ada, do you know how long I searched for my children? 3 months, 90 days. I hired private investigators. I put up posters everywhere. I offered a ₦1 million reward for information. I searched personally, every street, every slum, every corner of this city. Do you know how many people I asked? Thousands. Thousands of people who saw 2 homeless children and did nothing, said nothing, helped nothing. He paused, wiped his eyes. And then I find out that one person, one poor woman who had nothing, who was struggling herself, that one person fed them every single day, kept them alive, gave them hope, became their family when everyone else walked past. I just couldn't walk past them. Ada whispered, I know, and that's why you're here. Because, Miss Ada, in this entire city of 20 million people, you were the only one who saw my children and chose to help. The secretary entered with a tray. Real food, jollof rice, chicken, moi, plantain, a feast. Eat, Mr. Okonkwo said. Please eat, while I tell you a story. The story of what happened 3 months ago. The story of how I lost everything and how you, without knowing it, saved not just my children, but me. Ada ate, and as she ate, real food, abundant food, more food than she'd seen in months, Mr. Okonkwo talked. 3 months ago, my life was perfect. Successful business, beautiful wife, 2 amazing children. We were driving back from a family holiday. My wife was sleeping in the passenger seat, the twins were in the back, I was driving. His voice got quieter. A truck, coming from the opposite direction. The driver had been drinking, lost control, came straight at us. I swerved. Too late. The impact. He closed his eyes, reliving it. I woke up in the hospital 5 days later. They told me my wife was dead, died instantly. They told me the children were alive but traumatized. But when I asked to see them, the nurses looked confused, said the children had disappeared from the hospital the day after the accident, while I was in a coma. Disappeared? Ada asked. Yes. Apparently, in the chaos, the overcrowded hospital, the confusion, everyone focused on the adults. 2 terrified 6-year-olds walked out of the hospital. No one stopped them. No one noticed. They thought I was dead. The nurses had told them that. And their mother was dead. So they ran. 2 terrified 6-year-olds running from a nightmare. And you woke up to find them gone? Worse, I woke up to find that the hospital had no record of where they went. That in a city of 20 million people, 2 small children had vanished completely. The police? They tried for about a week, then said there were too many missing children. They couldn't prioritize 2 who probably just ran back to relatives. But you didn't stop searching. How could I? They were my children, my babies. My wife was gone. They were all I had left. So I searched every day. Personally, with investigators, I spent millions, put up posters, checked every street corner, every homeless camp, every street corner. He looked at Ada directly. Do you know how many homeless children are in Lagos? Thousands. And people like me, wealthy people who drive past them every day, we don't see them. They're invisible, just part of the scenery, part of the background of city life. I saw them, Ada said quietly. Yes, you saw them. And you didn't just see them, you helped them. Every morning, even when you had nothing, even when helping them cost you everything. Ada set down her fork. The food sat heavy in her stomach. Or maybe it was guilt. Mr. Okonkwo, I lost them yesterday. I got evicted. Had to tell them I couldn't come anymore. If you had arrived 1 day later, I wouldn't have been there. They would have been alone again. I failed. Failed? His voice rose. Miss Ada, you kept my children alive for 3 months. 3 months, when everyone else, everyone with more money, more resources, more everything, did nothing. You, with nothing, did everything. How is that failure?
Mr. Okonkwo pulled out a thick folder, opened it on the desk. This is the investigation report. 3 months of searching. Look. Ada looked. Photos of Chidi and Chioma before the accident. Happy, clean, smiling in school uniforms, professional family portraits, birthday parties. The life they had had before tragedy destroyed everything. Then newer photos, street cameras, grainy images, 2 small figures sleeping on cardboard, begging at traffic lights, looking lost and scared. My investigators captured these images 2 weeks ago. Just 2 weeks. We were so close, but Lagos is so big, so chaotic. By the time we got to these locations, they'd moved. And then nothing. The trail went cold. He flipped through more pages. Then, yesterday morning, I decided to search personally again. I do that sometimes when the investigators hit dead ends. I dress down, walk the streets, ask people directly. And I happened to walk down your road, that road where you meet them every morning. You saw us. I saw you give them food. I saw how they lit up when they saw you. I saw how they called you Sister Ada with such love. I saw them eat while you didn't. I saw everything. He looked up, eyes wet again. And I knew immediately those were my children. Same faces, same age, same everything. But so different, so thin, so scared, so broken by what they'd been through. But alive because of you. Why didn't you approach immediately?
I was in shock, complete shock. I'd found them. After 3 months, after millions spent, after endless searching, I'd found them, and they were being cared for by a poor woman who had every reason to walk past but didn't. I needed a minute to process, to figure out how to approach, to make sure I didn't scare them. He closed the folder. Then you left, told them you'd see them tomorrow, and I followed you. Watched where you worked, saw you get fired for feeding my children, saw you lose everything. Miss Ada, I watched you sacrifice your life for 2 children you didn't know. And I made a decision. What decision? That if you could give everything to save my children, I could give everything to save you. If this story is touching your heart, drop a heart emoji and share it. Someone needs to see that sacrifice gets rewarded. Mr. Okonkwo stood up, walked to his desk, pulled out papers, formal documents with letterheads and seals. Miss Ada, I'm a businessman. I deal in contracts and agreements. So let me make you a formal offer. A formal offer, not charity, not pity. A formal offer based on what you have already proven you can do. He set the papers in front of her. First, your rent. I've already paid it for 1 year at a better apartment, 3 rooms, real apartment, not boys' quarters. It's yours. Keys are ready. Ada's hands flew to her mouth. Second, a job, not as a cleaner, as the live-in nanny for my children. They know you, they trust you, they love you, they need you. Salary, 200,000 naira per month, with accommodation, meals, health insurance, everything provided. Ada couldn't breathe. 200,000 naira was more than she'd made in 6 months as a cleaner. Third, education fund. I understand you never finished school. I'm setting up a scholarship. You'll attend university, part-time, while caring for my children. Any degree you want, fully funded. Mr. Okonkwo, this is too much. I can't. Fourth, he continued, voice getting stronger, a business investment fund, 2 million naira. Set aside for when you're ready to start your own business, maybe a food service, maybe something else. Whatever you dream of, the money will be there waiting. The numbers were impossible, unreal, the kind of money Ada had never imagined having. And fifth, his voice broke. Fifth, you give my children what they need most, what money can't buy, what I've been desperately trying to find. A mother figure, someone who genuinely loves them, someone who already proved she'll sacrifice everything for them. He sat down, looked at her directly. Miss Ada, I'm not doing this because I feel sorry for you. I'm doing this because you're exactly who my children need. You're exactly who I need in my family. You proved that already. Every morning for 3 months, you proved your character, your heart, your commitment. I'm just making sure you never have to starve yourself to help others again. Ada was crying now, full tears streaming down her face. But why so much? I just fed them, that's all. It's what anyone should do. But nobody else did it do, he said quietly. Nobody else. In a city of millions, you were the only one. That's not common. That's not normal. That's rare. And rare people deserve rare rewards. He pushed the papers closer. These contracts are ready. My lawyer prepared them last night. All I need is your signature and your answer. Will you accept? Will you help me raise my children? Will you let me give you what you gave them? Hope, security, and a future. Ada looked at the papers, her hands shaking. This was impossible. This was a miracle. This was everything she'd prayed for and more. The twins, she whispered. Do they know? Do they want this? Mr. Okonkwo smiled for the first time. They've been asking for you since yesterday. Wouldn't stop. Where is Sister Ada? When is Sister Ada coming? Can Sister Ada live with us? They want you desperately.
Then, yes, Ada said stronger now. Yes, I accept all of it. Thank you. Thank you for seeing me, for valuing what I did, for everything. He handed her a pen, and Ada signed her name on papers that would transform her life from poverty to purpose, from nothing to everything, from homeless to home, all because she chose kindness when cruelty would have been easier. Mr. Okonkwo pulled out his phone. They're at my house with my sister who's been watching them. Let me call. Put it on speaker. You can tell them yourself. The phone rang. A woman answered. Brother? Sister, is Ada there? Put the twins on the phone. On speaker. Rustling sounds. Then small voices. Papa? Chidi, Chioma, I have someone here who wants to talk to you. He handed the phone to Ada. Hello? Her voice shook. Sister Ada! Both voices at once. Explosion of joy through the phone. Sister Ada, Papa said you are coming. Are you coming? When are you coming? Ada laughed through tears. I'm coming today, my darlings. Today. And guess what? What? I'm going to live with you, take care of you every day. Not just mornings, every single day. Screaming. Happy screaming through the phone, the kind of joy that only children can express when their whole world suddenly makes sense again. Really? Really, really? Really, really. I'm not going anywhere, I promise. This time I can keep the promise. More screaming, more joy. Then Chioma's voice. Sister Ada, we prayed God would bring you back, and he did. Yes, my love, he did. Ada left that office a different person than she had entered. Not because of the money, not because of the contracts, but because someone had seen her, really seen her, had valued what she had given, had proven that kindness mattered, that sacrifice counted, that the universe did keep score. She walked through the marble lobby. The same security guard who'd questioned her was there. He stood up straighter when she saw her, smiled. Madam, can I arrange car for you? Madam, not sister, Madam. No, thank you. I want to walk. I need to feel this. She stepped outside into Lagos morning. The same city that had been so cruel yesterday was suddenly full of possibility today. In her hands, an envelope with keys to her new apartment, documents for her new job, bank papers showing accounts opened in her name, papers that proved this was real, this was happening. She thought about Mama, about her mother's words, don't let this world make you hard. I didn't, Mama. I stayed soft, and you were right. You were right about everything. A text came through on the phone Mr. Okonkwo had given her. Yes, he'd given her a phone too. Driver will pick you up at 2 p.m. Bring your things. The children are waiting. Welcome to our family. Adewale. Family. She had a family again. And somewhere in that same city, there was a compound full of people who'd mocked her. A woman named Mama Joy who'd called her foolish. Neighbors who'd laughed at her kindness. They didn't know yet, didn't know that the woman they judged had just been lifted from nothing to everything. But they would. Soon they would. Subscribe now for part 3, where the village finds out, where Mama Joy gets her comeuppance. Hit that button.
Ada decided to return to the compound. One last time. To collect the few things she'd left behind. To say goodbye to that chapter of her life. But mostly, to let them see. She walked through the gate, and immediately, heads turned. There was something different about her. Not her clothes, still the same worn uniform. Not her appearance, still the same tired face. But something else. Her posture, her eyes, the way she carried herself. People who looked through her yesterday now stared directly. Mama Joy was there. Of course she was. Standing by her door with her usual crew of gossips. Hey, Ada has come back, oh. Come to beg for your room back. Come to see if landlord has mercy. Ada stopped, looked at Mama Joy, and smiled. Actually smiled. Good afternoon, Mama Joy. No, I am not begging for anything. I'm just here to collect my things. I have a new place now. 3-bedroom apartment. Victoria Island area. Very nice. Mama Joy laughed. Victoria Island. You? With what money? You think we're fools? You think? And a new job, Ada continued calmly. Live-in nanny for a CEO. 200,000 naira per month. Plus accommodation. Plus benefits. I start today. The laughter died. Silence. You are lying, Mama Joy said, but her voice was uncertain now. Am I? Ada held up the envelope, the one with the company letterhead visible, the one with official seals. These are my employment contracts, signed this morning. Would you like to see them? The women crowded around, staring, reading, unable to believe. But how? How did you... Remember those twins I was feeding? The ones you said were wasting my time? The ones you mocked me for helping? Nods, confused nods. They were the CEO's lost children. He'd been searching for 3 months. I was the only person in all of Lagos who helped them. Yesterday, he found them at my feeding spot. This morning, he gave me all of this. She let that sink in. So you see, Mama Joy, you were wrong. Kindness isn't foolishness. Sacrifice isn't stupidity. Staying soft in a hard world isn't weakness. It's strength. And sometimes, just sometimes, the universe rewards it. She walked to her old room, collected her few remaining possessions, walked back out past the silent, shocked women. Goodbye, Mama Joy. Thank you for the lessons. You taught me what not to become. And she left. Head high, dignity restored, victory complete. Behind her, Mama Joy stood frozen, for the first time in her life, completely speechless. The driver picked Ada up at exactly 2 p.m. Black Mercedes, professional, silent. They drove through Lagos, from the poor areas Ada knew so well, through the middle-class neighborhoods she'd only seen from bus windows, into the wealthy enclaves she'd only imagined. Victoria Island, Ikoyi, the parts of Lagos where governors lived, where oil executives built palaces, where money didn't just talk, it screamed. The car turned into a street lined with mansions, each one more impressive than the last, then stopped at a gate, massive, ornate, the kind of gate that said only certain people belong here. The security guard saw the car and opened immediately, waved them through with respect, and Ada saw it, the Okonkwo mansion. 3 stories, modern design, glass and marble, gardens, a fountain, multiple cars parked in a driveway bigger than Ada's entire compound. This was where she'd live now. This was home. The driver opened her door. Welcome, Madame Ada. The family is waiting inside. Madame, that word again, affirming her new reality. She stepped out, and before she could even reach the front door, it burst open. Sister Ada! 2 small bodies crashed into her, Chidi and Chioma. Clean now, wearing nice clothes, fed, safe, but still the same children who waited for her every morning on that street corner. You came, you really came. Papa said you would, but we were worried you wouldn't. Ada knelt down, hugged them, these children who saved her as much as she saved them. I promised, didn't I? I keep my promises now, always. Mr. Okonkwo appeared in the doorway, smiling. Welcome home, Mrs. Ada. Come, let me show you everything. Let me tell you the rest of the story. The part I didn't tell you in the office. The part that makes what you did even more miraculous than you know. Mr. Okonkwo led Ada through the house, past rooms bigger than any space she'd ever lived in, past luxury she'd only seen on TV, to a room he called the family room. One wall was covered with photographs. The top half, happiness, family portraits, birthday parties, beach vacations, Christmas celebrations, a beautiful woman, his late wife, smiling in every photo, the twins as babies, as toddlers, growing, thriving, loved. The bottom half, desperation, missing persons posters, photocopied flyers, newspaper ads, missing Chidi and Chioma Okonkwo, reward 1 million naira. The twins' faces plastered across hundreds of notices. This wall tells the story, Mr. Okonkwo said quietly. Happy family, sudden tragedy, desperate search. Look at this. He pointed to a map on the wall. Lagos, with hundreds of red pins, each pin representing a place he'd searched. Every red pin is a place I went personally. Every single one. Slums, streets, markets, everywhere. 3 months, 90 days, and I never found them. He pointed to one pin, Ada Street. No pin there. I never searched your street, not once. It wasn't on my investigators list, wasn't on my radar. It was just missed. If I had gone there even once, I would have found them. But I didn't. And they stayed lost, suffering, homeless, until you found them instead. Ada said, I didn't find them. They were just there, sitting where I walked every day. Exactly. Don't you see? You didn't go searching. You weren't looking for a reward. You weren't trying to be a hero. You just lived your normal life, walked your normal route. And because you were the kind of person who couldn't walk past suffering, you saw what everyone else missed. Do I not? Ada, do you know how many people walk that street every day? Hundreds, thousands maybe. Rich people in cars, middle-class people on buses, poor people walking like you. And every single one of them saw 2 homeless children and did nothing. But you stopped, you helped, you kept helping for 3 months. Anyone would have. No, his voice rose, not in anger, in passion, in intensity. No, I know they wouldn't, because I searched this entire city. I asked thousands of people, have you seen these children? Have you helped homeless twins? And you know what I got? Sorry, sir. No, sir. I don't notice street children, sir. Nobody saw them. Nobody helped. Nobody. Except you. Mr. Okonkwo walked to a desk, pulled out a letter, handwritten, the paper worn from being handled many times. This is a letter from my wife. She wrote it on our 10th anniversary, 5 years ago, before the accident, before everything changed. He handed it to Ada. Read it, please. You need to understand who she was, and why finding you feels like she sent you. Ada read, My dearest Adewale, 10 years, 10 beautiful years, and the best part, knowing we share the same heart, the same values, the same belief that wealth means nothing if we don't use it to help others. Promise me something. If anything happens to me, and I pray it never does, promise me you'll teach our children what we believe, that kindness matters, that we help people not because they deserve it, but because it's who we are. And promise me you'll look for the helpers, the people who give when they have nothing, the people who stay kind in cruel circumstances. Those are the people worth having in our lives. Those are the people who make the world beautiful. I love you. I love our children. And I love the man you are. Someone who never forgot where he came from. Someone who stayed humble despite success. Someone who sees people, really sees them, regardless of their status. Forever yours, Chidema. Ada's hand shook. Tears fell on the paper. Ada, 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 Ada. She sounds like she was beautiful. Inside beautiful. She was, Mr. Okonkwo said, voice thick. She was everything good, everything kind, everything I try to be and usually fail at. And when she died, when I lost her, I thought I'd lost that moral compass, that reminder to stay human despite wealth, to stay kind despite power. He took the letter back, held it like it was sacred. Then I found you, found someone who embodied everything Chidima believed in, everything she wanted our children to learn. Someone who gave when she had nothing. Someone who stayed kind in the cruelest circumstances. Someone who is what my wife wanted me to find. You think she sent me?
I don't know. Maybe not. But I know this. You are exactly who she would have wanted in our children's lives. Exactly who she would have chosen. And having you here, helping raise them, teaching them through example what kindness looks like. It feels like her final gift to us. If this is making you emotional, drop heart emoji. If you believe in divine timing, drop praying emoji. Also, comment the country you are watching from and share this story. Someone needs to see it today. That evening, Mr. Okonkwo's sister came for dinner, Auntie Folake. She'd been helping with the twins since they were found. Ada expected judgment, expected the same disdain she'd received from Madame Beatrice, expected to be seen as the help, beneath them, different, lesser. But Auntie Folake hugged her, actually hugged her. "Thank you," she whispered. "Thank you for keeping them alive. Thank you for being there when nobody else was. Thank you for having the heart we are supposed to have, but so often don't." They sat for dinner together at the same table, like equals, like family. The twins chattered non-stop, telling Ada about their new rooms, their new toys, the food they'd eaten, the baths they'd taken, the safety they felt. "But we missed you," Kioma said seriously. "We had everything, but we missed Sister Ada." "Well, I'm here now," Ada said, "not going anywhere." "Promise?" Jide asked, the old fear still there, the trauma of abandonment still healing. "Promise. This time I can keep all my promises, because your father made it possible for me to choose between helping you and surviving. He made it possible to do both." Mr. Okonkwo raised his glass. "A toast to Miss Ada, who saved my children, who proved that goodness still exists, who reminded me why wealth matters, not for comfort, but for the power to reward people like her. Welcome to our family." "To Sister Ada!" the twins shouted. "To Ada!" Auntie Folake echoed. And Ada sat there, in that beautiful dining room, surrounded by acceptance and gratitude and love, and thought about the compound left, thought about Mama Joy, thought about all the people who'd mocked her kindness. And she didn't feel angry, didn't feel vindictive, just peaceful, because she'd won, not by becoming hard like them, but by staying soft despite them. That was the real victory. Later that night, Mr. Okonkwo showed Ada to her room. Not a servant's quarters, not a small space in the back. A real room, guest room size, with an attached bathroom, a comfortable bed, a wardrobe, a desk, a window overlooking the garden. "This is yours," he said, "completely yours. Decorate it however you want. Change anything. Make it home." Ada stood in the doorway, unable to enter, unable to believe. I've never had a room like this." "Now you do. And Ada, one more thing. Tomorrow we're going shopping. Clothes, everything you need. No more worn uniforms, no more making do. You are part of this family. You dress like family." He left her alone. Ada walked in slowly, touched the bed, so soft, looked in the bathroom, so clean, opened the wardrobe, so empty, waiting to be filled. She sat on the bed and finally let herself cry. Not sad tears, not desperate tears, not the tears of someone who'd lost everything. These were different tears, tears of arrival, tears of being seen, tears of validation. 3 months of sacrifice, 3 months of choosing kindness over survival, 3 months of everyone calling her foolish. And it had led here, to safety, to family, to purpose, to proof that her mother was right. "Mama," she whispered, "I wish you could see this. Wish you could know that staying kind worked, that your lessons saved me, that everything you taught me was true." She pulled out the old photograph. Her parents, young, happy, believing in goodness. "I kept my promise, Mama. I stayed soft. And look what happened. Look where it led. You were right. You were right about everything." She placed the photograph on the bedside table, the only possession from her old life she'd keep displayed. Everything else was starting fresh, starting new, starting blessed. Outside her window, Lagos glittered. The same city that had been so cruel was now full of promise. Tomorrow she'd wake up in a real bed, eat a real breakfast, start a real job caring for children she already loved, begin a real future funded by gratitude instead of exploitation. Tomorrow, her new life truly began. But tonight, she just sat in her beautiful room and whispered one more prayer. Thank you for seeing me, for rewarding kindness, for proving that goodness wins. Thank you. 1 week changed everything. Not just external things, though those changed dramatically. Ada now had clothes that fit, hair done professionally, skincare products that made her skin glow, shoes that didn't hurt, food that filled her stomach. But the bigger change was internal. She walked differently, talked differently, carried herself differently. Not because wealth made her better, but because dignity restored makes you whole. She was still the same Ada who'd fed hungry children, still kind, still soft, still generous. But now she was Ada who knew her worth, Ada who was validated, Ada who had proven that her way was right even when everyone said it was wrong. The twins thrived. Their trauma was healing, slowly. They still had nightmares sometimes, still feared abandonment. But with Ada there every morning, literally every morning, not just street corner mornings, they were learning to trust again, to hope again, to be children again. Sister Ada, Kioma asked one morning at breakfast, will you ever leave us? Never. I have a contract. Your father pays me to stay. But even without the contract, even without the money, I'd stay because I love you. And love doesn't leave. Like Mama loved us, Chidi asked, still processing his mother's death. Yes, like your Mama loved you. And she'd be so happy knowing you're safe now, knowing someone who cares is watching over you. Mr. Okonkwo watched these interactions, watched Adam mother his children with genuine love, not obligation, watched her teach kindness through example, not lectures. You know, he said one evening after the children went to bed, I've interviewed many nannies over the years, before the accident, when Chidinma was alive, professional nannies, expensive ones, credentialed ones, and none of them, not one, loved my children like you do. Because I didn't take this job for money, Ada said simply. I took it because I already love them. The money is just what makes it possible for me to keep doing what I was already doing. That's the difference. That's what makes you priceless. Back at the compound, the news spread like wildfire. Someone had posted on Facebook a photo of Ada taken at Mr. Okonkwo's house during a family gathering. Ada looking beautiful, confident, glowing. The caption, from street corner charity to CEO's household. This is Sister Ada, the woman who fed my lost children every morning for 3 months when she herself was starving. She lost everything helping them. Now she's family. Hashtag kindness wins. Hashtag God is good. Hashtag never stop helping. The post went viral. Thousands of shares, tens of thousands of likes, comments flooding in. This made me cry. Faith in humanity restored. I'm never walking past a hungry person again. God really does reward good people. And in that compound where Ada used to live, Mama Joy stood in the market, staring at her phone, unable to speak. Is this the same Ada, our Ada, the one who lived in boys' quarters? Yes, someone confirmed. It's her. The story is everywhere, on blogs, on Instagram. Everyone is talking about her. She's famous now, famous for being kind, famous for what we all mocked her for. Mama Joy's face went through a journey. Shock, disbelief, realization, regret, shame. She'd mocked this woman daily, called her foolish, predicted her doom, laughed at her suffering. And now, that woman was living in a mansion, caring for a billionaire's children, being celebrated across social media, becoming an inspiration to thousands. While Mama Joy was still here, in the same compound, with the same complaints, with the same cruel tongue, with nothing changed except the bitter realization that she'd been wrong. Spectacularly, publicly, permanently wrong. I told her, she started. We know what you told her, someone interrupted. We all heard you, every day, telling her she was foolish, that kindness was stupid, that she'd die poor. I was just trying to help. Help? You are trying to make yourself feel superior.
And now look, she's elevated and you are still you." The words hit hard. True words usually do. Mama Joy went home, sat in her room, and for the first time in years, questioned everything. Her values, her choices, her treatment of others, her definition of wisdom. Maybe, just maybe, she'd been wrong about everything.
2 weeks after starting her new life, Ada decided to return to the compound. Not to gloat, not to rub it in, but to do something important. She arrived in Mr. Okonkwo's driver's car, stepped out wearing a beautiful dress, hair done, confidence radiating. The compound exploded in activity. Everyone came out. Everyone stared. "Ada, is it really you? Look at how she's changed. Is it true the story online? It's really you?" Ada smiled, warm, kind, no trace of bitterness. "Yes, it's me. And yes, the story is true. And I came back because I wanted to tell you something. All of you." They gathered around, dozens of them, including Mama Joy, who stood at the back, unable to meet Ada's eyes. "I don't blame any of you," Ada said clearly, "for the mockery, for the judgment, for calling me foolish. I understand. In this world, kindness looks like stupidity. Sacrifice looks like weakness. Staying soft looks like suicide. I understand why you thought I was wrong." Silence. Guilty silence. "But I came to tell you this. You were wrong. Not about survivor being hard. That's true. Not about needing to protect yourself. That's wise. But wrong about kindness being foolish. Wrong about sacrifice being wasted. Wrong about goodness not mattering." She looked around, made eye contact with person after person. "For 3 months, I fed 2 hungry children, lost my job, lost my home, lost everything. And everyone here told me I was destroying myself, that I should stop, that nobody would reward my kindness, that I was being used." Nods, ashamed nods. "But here's what you didn't know, couldn't know. Those 2 children were someone's lost babies, someone who'd been desperately searching, someone who saw what I did and valued it more than I can explain. And when he found me, he didn't just reward me, he restored me, elevated me, gave me more than I'd sacrificed, more than I dreamed possible, more than I'd imagined possible." Her voice got stronger. "So I came to tell you, keep being kind, keep helping people, keep staying soft even when the world tells you to harden. Because somewhere, somehow, someone is watching. Someone is keeping score. And goodness, real goodness, the kind that costs you something, it always gets rewarded. Maybe not immediately, maybe not obviously, but eventually, impossibly, miraculously, it does." A woman in the crowd spoke up. "But Ada, what if we help people and nothing changes? What if we sacrifice and stay poor?" "Then you stay poor with a clean conscience," Ada said simply. "You stay poor knowing you chose love over fear. You stay poor knowing you refused to let cruelty win. And maybe that's worth more than money anyway. Because I'd rather be poor and kind than rich and cruel, any day, every day." She paused, then added, "But in my case, I got both. I got to stay kind and got blessed. So really, it's the best of everything." If Ada's words are hitting your soul, pause and share this message. Someone in your life needs to hear this message today. As the crowd dispersed, one person remained, standing at the edge, uncertain, ashamed. Mama Joy. Ada saw her, could have walked away, could have ignored her, would have been justified in doing so. But Ada wasn't that person, had never been that person. She walked over. Mama Joy. "Ada," the older woman's voice cracked, "I need to say something. I need to apologize." "You don't have to." "Yes, I do. Please, let me say this." Mama Joy took a breath. "I was wicked to you, cruel. Every day I mocked you. Every day I called you foolish. Every day I predicted your doom, and I was wrong about everything. about kindness, about you, about what matters in life. Tears ran down her face now. Real tears. The kind that come from genuine remorse. I've been thinking since your story went online. Thinking about my own life. About how I became so hard, so mean, so focused on money and status that I forgot. I forgot what it means to be human, to help people, to care. Ada, I'm not finished. I need you to know something. Watching your kindness get rewarded, it didn't make me jealous. It made me ashamed. Ashamed of who I've become. Ashamed of teaching young women to be cruel. Ashamed of mocking the one person who had it right all along. She looked up, met Ada's eyes. Can you forgive me? I don't deserve it. I know I don't. But can you? Ada was quiet for a moment. Then, Mama Joy, do you know why I could stay kind even when you are cruel? Because my mother taught me that hurt people hurt people. And I always wondered what hurt you. What made you so angry at the world? What stole your softness? Poverty, Mama Joy whispered. Poverty and betrayal and disappointment. Life made me hard. I understand. I really do. And yes, I forgive you completely. Because holding grudges makes you the thing you fought against, makes you hard. And I refuse to become hard, even now, even after winning, especially after winning. Mama Joy broke completely, sobbing in public, not caring who saw. Ada hugged her. This woman who'd been her tormentor. This woman who'd made her life harder. This woman who needed forgiveness more than she deserved it. It's okay, Mama. It's okay. We're all learning, all growing, all trying to be better than we were yesterday. Start today. Start now. Be the kind person you used to be before life made you cruel. It's not too late. And in that hug, something shifted. Not just for Mama Joy, but for everyone watching. They just witnessed what grace looked like, what forgiveness looked like, what real wealth looked like. And it wasn't money. It was the ability to stay kind after being treated cruelly. The ability to bless after being cursed. The ability to stay soft after the world tried to make you hard. That was true wealth. And Ada had it in abundance. Before leaving, Ada did one more thing. She handed an envelope to the compound chairman. "What's this?" he asked. "Open it." He did. Inside, 500,000 naira in bank papers and a letter. "This money is for the compound," Ada said loudly, enough for everyone to hear. "For renovations. Fix the roofs that leak. Fix the well that's faulty. Fix the common toilet. Make this place better for everyone who lives here." Gasps, shock, disbelief. "Ada, this is too much." "It's not charity. It's investment. I lived here. I know what needs fixing. And now I have the ability to help. So I'm helping. Not because you deserve it. Not because you are kind to me. Most of you weren't. But because it's the right thing to do. Because helping people when you can is what you're supposed to do. Period." She looked around one last time. "This is my gift to you. My way of saying, I don't hate you for mocking me. I don't hold grudges. I don't wish bad things for you. I want you to have better, all of you, because we're all struggling, we're all trying, and we need to help each other survive this hard world." She started toward the car, then stopped, turned back. "One more thing. If you see hungry people, children, adults, anyone, please help them. You don't know their story. You don't know who they might be. You don't know who's watching. Just help. Because that's how we change the world, one kind act at a time." She got in the car, drove away, and behind her, an entire compound stood in stunned silence. Some crying, some ashamed, some inspired, all changed. Because they just witnessed what grace looked like, what forgiveness looked like, what real wealth looked like. And it wasn't money. It was the ability to stay kind after being treated cruelly, the ability to bless after being cursed, the ability to stay soft after the world tried to make you hard. That was true wealth.
6 months passed.
and everything continued transforming. The twins healed, slowly but steadily. Nightmares became less frequent. Smiles became more common. Trust became deeper. They called Ada Auntie now. Sometimes, in private moments, slipped and called her Mama. She never corrected them. Ada started university. Online classes at first, then hybrid, business administration. She had a vision now. One day, she'd open a feeding program for street children. A real one. Funded, organized, reaching hundreds of children like Chidi and Chioma used to be. Mr. Okonkwo became more than an employer. Became a mentor, a father figure, someone who saw her potential and invested in developing it. Not just with money, with time, with guidance, with genuine care. You remind me of Chidinma, he told her once. Not in appearance, in spirit, in the way you see people, in the way you love without calculation. Having you in our lives is like having a piece of her back. Ada's story went national, then international. News outlets picked it up. Blogs wrote about it. She was invited to speak at events about kindness and sacrifice and staying true to your values. She always said the same thing. I didn't do anything special. I just couldn't walk past hungry children. Anyone would have done the same. But the truth everyone else could see, was that she was special. Not because of supernatural abilities, but because she'd kept her humanity when the world tried to strip it away. Because she chose love when cruelty was easier. Because she stayed soft when hardness made more sense. That was rare. That was precious. That was special. And Mama Joy changed too. Not overnight. Change never happens overnight, but gradually, consistently, genuinely. She started helping young women in the market instead of mocking them. Started teaching with patience instead of cruelty. Started seeing people as humans instead of competition. One day, Ada visited the market. Saw Mama Joy helping a young girl. Couldn't have been more than 18, who was struggling to sell vegetables. You are doing fine, she was saying. Don't let these people intimidate you. Stay honest, stay kind. Your integrity matters more than quick profit. Trust me, I learned that lesson the hard way. She saw Ada watching, smiled sheepishly. I'm trying, she said. Trying to be more like you. More like who I used to be before life made me forget. You are doing well, Mama. I'll never be as good as you, but maybe I can stop being as bad as I was. Maybe that's enough. It's more than enough. It's everything. The world changes when people choose to change themselves. They hugged. Former enemies, current friends, living proof that redemption is real and transformation is possible and people can choose to become better. 1 year after that morning in Mr. Okonkwo's office, Ada launched her dream. Sister Ada's Hope Kitchen, a feeding program for homeless children, operating 6 days a week, serving breakfast, providing basic medical care, connecting children with resources, helping them find family when possible, keeping them safe when not. Mr. Okonkwo funded it fully. Told her, you saved my children. Now help me save others, as many as we can reach. The program started small, 20 children, then 50, then 100. Each morning, Ada was there, not just organizing, actually serving, actually talking to each child, actually making them feel seen. Because she remembered what it felt like to be invisible, remembered what it felt like when one person noticed, remembered that human connection mattered as much as food. Why do you still come personally? Someone asked. You could just fund it, let others run it. You are busy with the twins, with university, with everything else. Because these children need to see that someone cares. Not just staff doing a job, but someone who genuinely loves them. Someone who sees them as humans, not as charity cases. I come because if I was still that poor woman who could barely feed herself, I'd want to know that the person helping me genuinely cared. So I show up every day because showing up matters.
The program's motto, painted on the wall where children could see it every morning: kindness is never wasted. You matter. You are seen. You are loved. Under it, a photo. The famous photo. Ada and the twins on that street corner. Before the rescue. Before the miracle. Before the transformation. Before everything changed. A reminder of where it all started. Of why it mattered. Of what one person's kindness could create. If this story inspired you, subscribe for more stories like this and share it. Someone needs this message today. Drop a heart emoji if you are crying happy tears. One evening, Ada sat on the terrace with Mr. Okonkwo, watching the twins play in the garden. Happy, safe, whole. "Thank you," he said quietly. "For what? You are the one who saved me." "No, you saved them first. I just made sure you didn't have to sacrifice yourself to keep doing it. But the saving, that was all you. Before I even knew they existed again, you were keeping them alive, giving them hope, showing them that goodness still existed in the world." He turned to Ada. "Ada, do you ever think about what would have happened if you'd walked past them that first morning when you saw them? Sometimes they would have died, or been trafficked, or been lost forever, and I would have spent the rest of my life searching, never knowing, never healing, never finding peace. But I didn't walk past them." "Exactly, you didn't. When everyone else did, when it made no sense to help, when you had every reason to protect yourself first, you didn't. You stopped, you helped, you sacrificed, and that choice, that one choice to stay kind, it saved 4 lives. Theirs, mine, and yours." The twins ran over. "Auntie Ada, Papa, come see. We built a fort." "Come in," Ada called. She stood, looked at the man who'd become family, at the children she loved like her own, at the home she'd never dreamed possible, at the life that had bloomed from seeds of sacrifice. "You know what I learned?" she said. "I learned that my mother was right, that staying soft in a hard world is not weakness, that kindness is not foolishness, that what you give really does come back, maybe not immediately, maybe not obviously, but eventually, impossibly, miraculously, it does. Your mother sounds like she was an incredible woman." She was. And I think she'd be proud, not of the money or the mansion or the success, but of the fact that I kept my promise. I stayed kind. I stayed soft. I stayed me, even when it cost everything, especially when it cost everything. They walked towards the twins, towards the fort, towards the evening, towards the future. And somewhere above, in that mysterious place where mothers watch over their children, Mama smiled, because her daughter stayed soft, had stayed kind, had stayed true, and had proven that goodness, real, sacrificial, impossible goodness, always wins. Always. The end of part 2. What happens next? Part 3. 1 year later. The legacy. Coming in a few days. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Drop a heart if this story changed you. Share it with someone who needs hope.